Hello, hello, my beautiful sacred masculines, and anybody else who finds their way to this channel. I'm so grateful for your presence and thank you for being here. I am at the Oracle of Delphi today. I visited that archaeological site here in Delphi, Greece, and it's been extremely eye-opening and interesting and fascinating. And I am on a pilgrimage, meaning that, there's great intention behind my travels and what I'm doing. And it's, pretty much everything in my life is about my spiritual growth and awakening, liberation, ascension, freeing myself from, conditioning, limitations, old unhealthy belief systems that do not serve me and my highest purpose and do not serve the collective. So everything in my life is about moving out of limitation and conditioning and connecting with my truth, with my heart, with my power, with the sacred feminine, with the sacred masculine, finding that harmony, union, and balance within, connecting with the divine, connecting with my body, just really, that's if you've been following my channel for a while, if you know me, this is what I'm all about, and everything I do is about that. So this adventure in Greece is all about that, all about greater expansion and liberation and a deeper connection with the sacred feminine and sacred masculine. So the temple here at Delphi, the Oracle at Delphi, is really, for me, a real symbol of the sacred feminine energy, with the oracle, the feminine bringing in words of wisdom to support the collective, support the culture, and support, those that came to see her. And apparently she was channeling Apollo, and that's what they said. But who knows, right? I mean, we weren't there and we just don't know. I've been learning a lot of interesting things about the history of that site and the place and what's been said. So the thing about history is it's told usually by a specific type of people or a specific group of people that create that history of what they want people to know about it. So we can never really trust it because we weren't there, right? It's somebody else's interpretation, and we just kind of have to feel into that for ourselves and use our own intuition, our own logic, our own reasoning and analysis and exploration to, see what makes sense to us and what resonates for us at a core level. And I would, everything about this story is kind of based around a masculine perspective, and the history is, we live in a patriarchal society, and our history is a patriarchal one. So the lens is going to be through that patriarchal lens. That's just what it is. Again, no judgment, no shunning, no shaming. That's just the culture we live in, right? I mean, I think we can all agree on that. So I am looking at it, trying to bring more of the sacred feminine lens into that, and looking at it, trying to look at it from a more balanced perspective, just given what I know of the feminine and the tendency to, or the reality that things are based on a masculine perspective. And so trying to pick that apart a little bit and just feel into the experience for myself, and not depend so much on those specific stories that have been told about this place, about our history, etc. So, but what I've learned, and what, again, there's little plaques and stories that are told at the site, and here's what happened here. Again, that's based on a very specific perspective, and we have to, it's critical thinking. We need to kind of open up our mind and not just lock into what's been said there. So to kind of, expand it and open it up and pick it apart and question what we're reading, right? That's critical thinking. That's very important. Very important. And I think that's part of why we find ourselves in some of the situation we find ourselves in. We've taken a lot of things at face value and not question, when authority tells us something, or somebody tells us something, a teacher tells us something, it's like, oh, okay, sure. And we don't question that and pick it apart and go, actually, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So when I hear that this oracle was channeling Apollo, I think, well, maybe, but probably it was more than just that. There's a bigger perspective and there's more wisdom that's coming through that's not just one. It would fit at the time if it was a very patriarchal situation to say that, but I trust that there's more than just masculine wisdom and energy coming through. It'd probably at least be balanced, so but that's my take on it. Again, critical thinking, and we each have our own kind of perspectives and lens that we see things through, so I am opening that up for myself and and just thinking into it. So but anyways, the story told about the place is that it was initially a site dedicated to Gaia, our goddess Gaia, who is our planet, Mother Earth, right? Nature, beautiful. And Apollo, who is, I read, apparently the goddess of harmony, light, and music, came in and decided, I guess, that he wanted this space for himself. I don't know why. It's not really said why. There's always, two sides to a story. Who knows what was going down? But, and again, this isn't probably literal, right? This is all like metaphor, but anyway, the masculine came in and took it away from the feminine, changed the purpose of the place and the whole experience of the place, and apparently slayed her son, who was a serpent. I looked it up at Typhon, 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 like I thought it was anyway, Typhon. We'll just leave it like that. I don't know exactly the pronunciation, but so I thought that was interesting because the serpent has a history in our history. It's the Garden of Eden. It was a serpent, right? That was the cause of all the problems. So, and Eve, of course, the feminine. Again, we have, there's a theme here. There's a theme that goes through a lot of our mythology around the feminine and the masculine, and these different archetypal energies that show up. And the serpent is one of them. The serpent, in some cultures, is revered and is seen as wisdom and, a good omen. But not in Western civilization so much. So here it is again, the serpent being destroyed by Apollo. And again, this is all metaphor, so who knows exactly, and we can think into that of what that means. But basically, it's the masculine overcoming the feminine and changing that experience. So for the people that had created this site, and there were a bunch of previous, I heard this woman saying prehistory is before the masculine came in, and there was all these goddess statues, and I have some pictures on them. I'll post them on Instagram if you want to follow me there and go check out more, because I'm posting a lot more there. I can post images and such, so check that out. But it was goddess statues and symbolism, and clearly that's what was revered and connected with at that time, prior to the masculine coming in and taking the site over for the masculine energy. And then there shows a lot of warring pictorials, a lot of fighting and such that was in their plaques and in their creations, in their art and the decoration. So a lot of battle scenes and such. So I find that rather interesting as well. So it's just all very thought-provoking, when I look back at the history and I look at where we found ourselves and the imbalance that we have. And I don't feel like it really should be one or the other, a matriarchal or a patriarchal society. I trust that balance and harmony and union between the feminine and the masculine is an ideal way for us to move forward, and that's what I'm really passionate about, is helping us to find that balance first within, and then we find it without, and then we create it without, because as above, so below, as within, so without. If we don't have that balance and harmony and union within ourselves, of course we're not going to have it outside, because our external world reflects our internal world. So this is where the work lies, and this is, given our history, this is the energies that we've grown up in. We very much embodied the imbalance. So I am all about helping us to reconnect with the feminine energies that have been shunned and shamed, that have been overtaken, that have been slayed, that wisdom of the feminine that's been slayed, which is really kind of what that serpent energy is, that Gaia gave birth to, this serpent wisdom energy, which is seen as wisdom in some cultures. And depending on, like, if you're in the pagan tradition, that connects more with the nature and such, the serpent is wisdom. So here's Mother Earth, Gaia, giving birth to this wisdom that is slain, and she is overtaken. So there's that. And now we see what that's turned into in our society, and what that's turned into within ourselves. We're very deeply disconnected from our own feminine wisdom and our intuition and our emotions and our bodies and the earth, so that's how that has played out for us. Again, no judgment, no criticism, no shunning, no shaming. I trust in the absolute perfection of everything, and for whatever reason, that's part of our history that we did need to go through. Now we're coming back around, and let's find a new way to bring balance and harmony. We learned from that lesson, and we're learning like that. We're not happy, fulfilled, nourished people living our lives of passion and connection, and just like happy and rocking it out. We got some issues, we got some things, we got some stuff. So how do we move through that now? So I'm getting a lot of clarity here on my own mission and vision, and what I'm so passionate about, and the goddess energy, and the sacred feminine, and the sacred masculine, and making a few changes to my own to how I do things. I'm getting, like I said, some of the pieces are coming together, and I'm gaining a lot of clarity. I have been on a pilgrimage to the sacred feminine for years now. All of my travels to India, and so much of my spiritual growth and my spiritual work and my journey has been about my own strengthening of my feminine energies, returning to my sacred feminine self, because I deeply embodied the masculine, and I was very disconnected from the feminine, very disconnected from my body, with a deep desire to be more connected with my body, without the terminology or the understanding or the ability to even articulate that that's what was missing. But I've always kind of been moving in that direction, and desiring a deeper connection. And the sexuality piece is a huge piece for me, because that's for me where there is a real spiritual connection and expansion there. So there's something about the union of the coming together with the feminine and the masculine in that way that really opens things up. And I've always, for me, known that that's a really important piece of this for me. But coming back to my journey towards the feminine, I previously had no interest in the goddess. I just kind of actually kind of moved away from that, and was just like, that's not really my thing. And then after connecting with the goddess in India, and just that started opening up for me, and it's been a continuing, ongoing journey. And I recognized today more my own dislike of the feminine based on my experience of my mothers. I have three mothers, which I think is very telling right there of the situation we find ourselves in with the shunning and shaming of the feminine. My biological mother, I was put up for adoption. I was not wanted. That pregnancy was not wanted. And that's, I got into that a little bit in a previous video, but not the best start, right, to a life. But I know that I chose that path to come into and experience that, to experience that aspect of sexuality, because pregnancy, we come out of a sexuality, right? We come out of sexual connection. So there was a sexual connection that I don't really know much about that. Of course, I wasn't there, but there was a lot of guilt and shame around that. My mother ended up pregnant, and that wasn't a good thing. And I've heard different stories around that, but I can't really trust any of that, so I don't exactly know. But basically, one doesn't give up their child for adoption when they're in a good, healthy, safe, financially secure, loving environment, right? And from my understanding, she tried to hide the pregnancy the whole way through, but again, I don't really know. Regardless, not a good situation. So she gave me up, and then my adopted mother adopted me, and that didn't go very well either. You know, she just wasn't really capable of taking care of me, and I, having been given up for adoption, came in with a lot of upset and angst and stress, and very emotional. I cried all the time. Apparently, I was pretty pissed off, and the connection with my mother was not good. The woman that adopted me, it wasn't good. We fought all the time, so that didn't really, add to my experience of what I needed was more love and caring and connection. So then, at 11, she had me leave. It didn't work out. It did not work out. And then I went to various family members, and then ended up with my mother or my stepmother, my father and stepmother. So there's mother number 3, and she's lovely now, but I gotta tell you, she was kind of a nightmare when I was in my teenage years, and I was a nightmare. So we, again, really not good experience. So those were my 3 main experiences of the feminine, and none of them were good and healthy and nourishing. And so I've just always kind of, gravitated towards men, been a lot more comfortable around men, enjoyed spending time with them. And then again, there's like the sexual attraction that's been there too. So just always, been more into the masculine than the feminine. So hence my journey of really doing a lot of my own inner work to connect with the feminine, because I'm actually a very feminine, I have a lot of feminine energy, and I had to do a lot of digging and deep diving into unearthing that and connecting with that, and the journey continues, and hence my being here to really step even more into my power, into my sacred feminine, into my goddess energy. So being here, what I was saying is the clarity that I've been getting around what I'm doing. I am so passionate about helping us all to reconnect with the feminine and reconnect with our sacred feminine, sacred masculine energies within. And now I'm just realizing today, looking back on my life, I'm looking back at all of my my spiritual pilgrimages, how they have been all about the goddess and reconnecting to that and finding a healthier balance for my masculine, because there's also, I let the masculine in myself kind of take over and override and shun and shame my feminine. And then there's just been a battle internally that's been kind of ongoing, and finding that harmony and that balance and that place that honors both of the energies and really celebrates and cherishes them both, because I do love the masculine energies, and my mind is very strong, and I can be very competitive, and that's and achieve and goal oriented, and really all about the outcome and do, and I can just get really lost in that, and I did, and now finding the balance with the feminine, utilizing my feelings and my intuition and my emotions and psychic gifts and abilities and healing abilities, bringing that all together with that masculine energy, the logic, the reason, the doing, the action, with the being. So bringing it all together. But today it just got so clear that, that's really what I'm all about, and is supporting the masculine to reconnect with the goddess. It's been so lost, and I am looking to embody that goddess energy to my best ability. And because the god and the goddess are within each of us, they're cleverly hiding and disguising themselves in us for us to find and connect with. And that is the spiritual journey. That is the human journey. What I feel is the human journey. The purpose of the human journey is to reconnect with that divine essence within, and that we are the sacred, we are the divine, we are the god and the goddess. And I am just so passionate about helping us to connect with that aspect of ourselves and really returning back to the goddess, finding that balance, which helps us to be more in a healthy masculine, healthy God energy, right? It's just been too imbalanced again. So, and all of the work that I've been doing, all of the sessions that I offer, all the programs, all of the pilgrimage that's coming up is about that reconnecting with the God and goddess within, and really strengthening that understanding of the goddess, because so many of us have had very unhealthy experiences of both the feminine and the masculine. And it's not a surprise that the feminine has been so whacked out and skewed and resentful and bitter because of the history of being so neglected and abused and shunned and shamed, and our sexuality the same thing. That's neglected, abused, shunned, and shamed, and for both men and women, the masculine and the feminine. So, I just kind of lost my train of thought there. I hate it when that happens. Anyway, a real coming back to, I was talking about the feminine and how she is just, we've all had those experiences. Basically, the feminine is on a journey to find herself, and not everyone's going to go on that journey, and a lot of people are going to stay in their bitterness and anger and their resentment. I have my three mothers that are well, one I don't know, of course, because she put me up for adoption, but my mother is heading towards, she's pretty bitter and upset. My stepmother is got a lot of her own things she's still moving through, but she's not so angry like my mother is. But we see this with a lot of women and a lot of men. I mean, everybody's just kind of angry and pissed off and resentful and upset, right? So that is the journey. But I think men have had just, the dynamics between men and women. I see a lot of my clients and their experience with women, and nobody's really meeting each other and supporting each other, and there's a lot of bitterness and resentment on both sides. And the men really want to connect with the masculine, really wants to connect with the feminine, and the feminine just simply can't open to the masculine because she's endured so much and she has such a history. And a lot of this is inherited. It's like ancestral trauma, it's in the DNA, and then people take on their own traumas and their own abuse throughout their history and throughout their lives, their own lived experience. They take it in through the family, and then they take it in through their own personal experiences. And because the feminine has not been supported in so many ways in general, our society is just based on not supporting the feminine. Women are pissed off and they're angry, and there's a deep, deep, deep anger that is deep down under there that is not conscious, because women have not been told it's okay to be angry. So it's really tamped down under there. And then that comes out towards the masculine in all sorts of weird, subtle and not so subtle ways. And I see this a lot in my family members, and it's just, and in, you know, the collective and in society, where it's just like a lot of that snappiness, a lot of that short, just like, you know, angry at the masculine for not doing this, that, and the other, and just very resentful. But it's a deep, deep, deep anger. It's not a conscious thing, and it feels very valid, and it's just this weird dynamic that plays out. And so the feminine does not open to the masculine. The masculine is trying to give and connect with the feminine, and the feminine's just like, not having it, you're not doing it right, I need this from you, and you're not providing for me. And so the masculine's over here like, what the fuck, getting frustrated and pissed off with the feminine, and then just wanting to go elsewhere and find something else or do something else, or shutting down more and more. Everyone's just like, you know, the feminine is supposed to be, that's not the word, but the feminine is usually a very receptive energy. And when she's not able to receive the love of the masculine, and the masculine is a giving energy, and when the masculine isn't able to give, you know, there's these two polarities that aren't working at all, and then they both shut down, and they're both pissed off, and they just kind of, you know, the hearts shut down more and more and more, and the anger grows more, and the bitterness grows more, and then people are just kind of like, you know, two ships in the night, and just like, either it ends in divorce, or it ends up in two people staying together that go through their lives never really fully connected, nourished, fulfilled, happy in their passions, sparked, and like, you know, loving life and loving each other, loving themselves most of all. There's this deep insecurity, unworthiness, a lot of issues around our own self-worth and self-love. And we've grown up in this very codependent experiences that we learned from our families, we've learned from society, we've learned from Hollywood movies, very unhealthy ways of relating. Very unhealthy ways of relating from movies. I just see some stuff and I'm like, oh my God, it's no wonder we're just like so messed up, because we see these weird, very unhealthy dynamics that get romanticized, and it's like, we're not shown healthy experiences of relationship, realistic experiences of relationship, so we know how to move through and emulate that and step into that experience. It's very, I won't get started on that, but I want to do a video of all these just like awful experiences or awful examples of the feminine and masculine that I've seen in movies. It's just like, oh my gosh, here's all of what not to do. Here's all of like the machismo men that the women are supposed to be like really into, and women just like, the sex scenes in movies are just, oh my gosh, they're horrible. They last about 20 seconds and the woman's like, what? This amazing orgasm, or just like, or not at all, and the guy is having an orgasm and she's just like, oh, aren't you so happy that I was a vessel for your semen, you know? It's just like not fulfilling on her end, or it's just over, like it's so quick. It's just, I don't know, it's very, and this is what we've learned is like the norm and the thing and desirable. It's just like, anyway, yeah, like I said, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. Coming back to, yeah, where we find ourselves. And I'm just, like I said, I some of the puzzle pieces are fitting together for me, and I'm getting more clarity on what kind of, I guess, a framework, how to frame what it is that I'm doing and what I'm offering, and how I'm my passion about supporting us to connect. And it really is like a return to the goddess, but the balance of the goddess. Like this pilgrimage coming up to India, we're going to be going to goddess temples and reconnecting with that energy. Also God temples, of course, sacred masculine, but there's something, the goddess is awakening, and men, from my own experience, they want to honor and worship and revere the goddess that they've been connecting with, that's been hiding in the women that they're connecting with, hasn't been able to receive them, hasn't, because that aspect is just, there's just been too much anger. But the men really want to revere the goddess, and I am passionate about supporting that reconnection and that awakening. And because when the masculine is able to fully give his passion and give his love and give his energy and just and do for the goddess, he's alive and just so in his bliss. You know, when he's being received by the goddess, by the feminine, it's just, it's gorgeous. I've seen it, I've watched it, it's amazing. It's like, yes. And that's what the masculine truly wants. You know, they want to give their energy and just like, but again, the feminine's been too shut down to receive it. So I really want to support that opening and that awakening for all of us. And a huge piece of that is the masculine doing his work to clear out all of the shit that he's taken on throughout this patriarchal journey, the unhealthy ways of being, the limitations, the unhealthy belief systems, all the things that we've taken on from society that keep us from being strong in our passion and our power. You know, so while the feminine's not been able to receive the masculine's been trying to give in a very strange way that isn't really in his power. It's coming from a place of neediness, disconnection, not in his heart. It's a fear-based, insecure, lack mentality place, and he comes to the feminine wanting her to fill the void, and she simply cannot, because she's in her own void. And again, that's that kind of like, it's not working. It's not working. Both are trying to connect from this place of insecurity, unworthiness, not full of self-love. You know, their hearts are shut down. They deeply want to love, but they're just not capable of it. So in order to be received by the feminine, the masculine needs to do his work and needs to clear out that stuff. So he's coming from a place of love and strength and courage and confidence and true passion that is giving, not taking from the feminine. The masculine has taken way too much from the feminine. And it's not a surprise that she's shut down and can't give anymore and cannot receive anything, because what she's been receiving has not been pure and whole and love-based. It's not. It's really not. And often that love, what people think is love, or what the masculine thinks is love, is really a neediness, and it's not coming from a pure place. It's not. And the feminine can feel that. I've talked about that in other videos too. You know, she knows, her intuition is very strong, and she feels that energy that's just trying to suck the life out of her. You know, it's just not. And it's no wonder she's shut down. She's got nothing to give, and she doesn't want to give to that, you know. But if you're coming from a place of wholeness, love, strength, courage, confidence, passion, just ready to like light her up in a real true way, you know, that's different. So all of my sessions, all of my sacred sexuality sessions, my program, this pilgrimage to India coming up, it's all about that, helping you to step strong into your power, helping you to clear away what's been getting in the way of you being strong in your passion and your purpose, authentic, true, heart-based, not needy, not from a place of lack, not from unhealthy belief systems, not from societal conditioning. You know, how do you step strong into your power? Do you even know what that means? Do you even know what that is for you? A lot of people don't even know, and that's where we start. Like, what does it mean for you to be in your power? What is the wounded masculine qualities and wounded feminine qualities you're rocking out? What are you packing? What are you bringing to the table? Let's look at that and let's clear it out. And then now what? What are the qualities you want to embody? Because a lot of us didn't have the good, we didn't get a good role models. We are learning from people who were very wounded themselves, and then we're trying to find things to emulate. And again, we learn from Hollywood movies that are just so bizarre, not healthy ways of relating, not healthy. And so we've cobbled together some sort of idea of what it means to be a healthy man or a healthy woman, and it's not going well. Let's just say that it's not going well. That's why we find ourselves repeating these relationship patterns that are not nourishing and not supportive and not healthy, or we're in a long-term relationship that is not nourishing and supportive and fulfilling, and we're not connected. We're not having those deep, heartfelt connections and knowing that love for ourselves and for the other that we truly want. We know we're capable of so much more. We cannot desire something that we don't already innately know we are capable of. We know we can have beautiful, strong, healthy, loving, connected, nourishing, fulfilling relationships, passionate, creative, inspiring relationships and connections. And we know that we can love ourselves. We know we have power. We know we are capable of so much more. And that's where the angst comes from, because we know we can do better. We know we have more to offer. We know there's parts of us that we're not tapped into. We feel that at a very visceral level. Hence our angst and anxiety and stress and fear and everything I'm doing is about connecting us back with the truth of ourselves, getting underneath all that conditioning, all those limitations, all those unhealthy beliefs we've taken on, getting under there, clearing it away so we can come into our hearts and connect from that place, connect with our passion. From our passion, open up that sexual energy from a beautiful, heartfelt place, a heartfelt, whole place. Not from that lack, not from that neediness, not from needing somebody else to fill the void for us and make us feel whole. When we enter into sexual union like that, it's just not the thing. It's not what we're trying to move towards. It's never really going to fulfill us. So yeah, that is all just really, it's all gelling for me right now. I'm just getting these little pieces that are like, yes, yes, yes. So I'm just really thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be connecting with you. I'm thrilled to be supporting us to step into our power. I'm really excited for you to come connect with me, just some one-on-one sessions. And if any of this is speaking to you, if it's resonating, if you're getting it, if you're like, yeah, I understand, and I'm ready to move through this stuff, and I'm ready to reconnect with my own God and goddess energy within. I'm ready to have different relationships. I'm ready to have a career and a life that's supportive of me and that turns me on, that really fucking turns me on. If your life isn't turning you on, there's a problem. There's a problem, and we can work on that. We can fix that, seriously. So check out my 12-week program. That is the foundation that will just reboot everything and give you a whole new energy body, a whole new framework, a whole new understanding of where you're at, clearing so much, and then just stepping strong into the new qualities, energies, frequencies that you're ready to start rocking out and vibing with. And then we have the pilgrimage to India to really connect with that sacred feminine, sacred masculine, God and goddess energy in a really powerful way. That the energy in India is just so phenomenal. The spiritual energy and the frequencies that just lends itself to very powerful awakenings and transformations. So I can't say enough good things about that. So I have a full website for all of my offerings, and then there's another entire website all about that pilgrimage. So a lot of details on the 12-week program that gets started in June. And there's a couple of beautiful sacred masculines that have already signed up, and It's going to be a lovely cohort, and I'm excited for you to connect with your brothers who are also on this path. And that's a really important piece to me, for you to be able to connect with other sacred masculines that are going through this journey, because it's going to be a lonely path, this spiritual journey. So having support and having others that are going through it is a really important piece. So yeah, check that out, please. And the early bird special for the pilgrimage is going on for another a little bit longer. I'm not sure what the date I have. That pilgrimage takes place in November, by the way. So check that out, and yeah, get signed up for the early bird. There's only a few more spots left, so that's very exciting. This is really, it's going to be a small group, 6 participants. So be sure to get in on that as soon as possible, because yeah, the spots are going. So yeah, I can't wait to be in India with you. I can't wait to move through this program with you. It is powerful. Each week you get a one-on-one session with me, a guidance session. We're going to talk through everything that's coming up for you. There's teachings every week, different activities that you go through, and different rituals that you engage in to connect with your own sacred masculine and sacred feminine energies within. There's an energy healing, sound healing session each week to really clear out those energies that I need to do a separate video on this to explain what energy healing is a little bit more. We are made up of energy. We have an energy body. All of these patterns and limiting belief systems are energy that are stuck in our field. And when we open those up through sound healing and energy healing, it allows the energy to flow, and it drastically changes our experience. So that's a huge piece. There's amazing teachings that you get every week, but a really big piece to go along with that, because the teachings, that's a more of a mental thing. This works with the energy body and it gets in there. So it's not about talk therapy. Talk therapy is not going to get us where we're needing to go right now. This is deep in there. Let's clear this stuff. So, and it clears it. It's not like we have to talk it to death. Once it's gone, it's gone. So this really, by the end of this program, you have an entire different energy body, which means you have an entire different lived experience. It is powerful. But don't take my word for it. Check out my testimonials page on my website to see what other people who have gone through the program have experienced. They have drastically changed their health, our energy body. Everything, our physical body is an experience, an emanation of our energy body. So when we clear out the stuck, stagnant, blocked energy of our energy field, it changes our actual physical body. It changes our health. So real big health improvements happen through this program, and big improvements to relationships, drastic changes to career and jobs, and stepping into what truly supports and nourishes you. If you've been stuck in some not fulfilling, job experience, career experience, and you're looking for that courage and confidence to move through and to make those changes, to step into something that's really going to nourish you and fulfill you, this program will drastically support that. Anything that's not really supporting your experience right now will be up for review in this program, and you will find the courage and the confidence to make those changes you want to make, that have been kind of talking to you, and you're like, but you just haven't found the courage and confidence and and the energy to do it. This program will push you over the edge and give you all that you need to know to make those powerful changes for yourself, and just step into the truth of who you are and what you're here to do. Your passion, your purpose, it's going to light you up, and it's going to give you all those things that you've just been maybe slogging through and just not been able to connect with. You're going to connect with them in this program, and you're going to be like, wow, this is how I want to live my life now. What have I been doing? I've been wasting a lot of energy on these things that just aren't fulfilling me. They're not lighting me up. They're not speaking to my passion. You're gonna confront all that, and you're gonna find the courage and the confidence to make the choices for yourself, the decisions for yourself that really help you to align with your passion purpose and connect with your passion purpose if you don't know what that is. And maybe that's why you've been kind of moving through and just like, ugh, kind of at this like, ugh, because you're not connected with your passion. This is going to help you to do that. So, which changes everything, really changes everything, and drastically changes relationships. So, and the spiritual connection is another huge piece. When we're not connected spiritually, I'm not talking about religion, but when we're not connected to that passion, that creativity, that life force energy, that something outside of ourselves, something bigger than just this little thing here, something bigger than our ego, when we have no connection to that, and we have no connection to our hearts, yeah, life is like, ugh. There isn't the inspiration, the passion, the motivation, and the courage and the confidence to do more and to really expand into all of our potential. So this is a spiritual journey as well. So it's body, mind, and spirit, and it brings it all together to really light you up and reconnect with what you're doing here on this planet and what's gonna make your heart sing. Because what the fuck are we doing here? We're here to have fun and to enjoy and to experience our passion, to experience the rapture. If you're not having that experience, get onto my website, get to that page, learn all about this program, and see how it's speaking to you. And then contact me when you're ready to sign up, because it gets started in June. I'm out traveling on my pilgrimage for a little while. When I get back to the States, we're gonna light it up, and we're gonna do this thing. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to support you in your process and watch you come alive and really just like. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch people go through this program. It is so stunning to watch the transformation and to watch the growth and to watch the aha moments and the like, oh, I've been carrying that shit around for all this time. No wonder. Well, fuck, I'm going to drop that. Let go of that. Let go of that. Freedom, ease, serenity, peace, joy, fun, play, adventure, courage, confidence, liberation, sexuality, sensuality, like reconnecting with our beautiful bodies. Yes, a new lease on life. Light it up. Yes. I get so excited about this. I just am so excited to see us all in our hearts, all knowing that love, that self-love, and really coming into that place, knowing we are worthy, knowing that we are cherished and loved and held and celebrated, and really learning to love ourselves and really learning to love our bodies, our sensuality, our sexual energy. Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here and being on this journey with me. I can't wait to go through this program with you. I cannot wait to be in India with you and to go to these God and Goddess temples. Oh my gosh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And we're going to have gorgeous ritual there, gorgeous sacred sexual ritual there that's just going to be exquisite and really honoring the God and Goddess within and without. It's going to be gorgeous. So links below for all of the information. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Follow me on Instagram. I'm keeping very up to date on my pilgrimage and all my adventures and sharing more pictures over there. It's very fun. Reach out when you're ready to connect for some sacred sexual ritual, for some spiritual guidance, all the things. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's amazing to be connected with you. And thank you. Bye all, with much love.